All right, so hello everyone. Welcome to another video. So this video we thought of doing something different. So just a backstory for today's video. While surfing over the internet, we found out a YouTuber specifically uses Quansap and he does his briefings on Quansap on YouTube. So that not only just made us happy, but we also went a step further to reach out to him. Uh, and he was kind enough to have a small chat with us about how he goes about his trading and how he uses Quantsap. So without further ado, as you can see on your screen, we have Mr. Nikhil Dogra who runs his YouTube channel called Digital Trading Floor. So hello, Mr. Nikhil. Thanks for agreeing to have this small chat with us on Saturday.
Thank you for having me over here. Yeah, as you have mentioned, my name is Nikhil Dogra. I'm from Chandigarh only, and I have been trading since 2011 and successfully trading since last 3 years.
Got it. So the 2011 till 18 was your learning phase.
Yeah, it was a very hard phase, but I'll start by telling you that I had interest in financial markets from a very early age. When I was in my teens, I started investing in mutual funds. So HDFC Top 200 mutual fund was my first mutual fund, and whatever pocket money we used to get, like on birthdays, our elders used to give us some gift money. So I used to save every money, and then I started investing in HDFC Top 200 mutual fund. So from that point onwards, I have been paper trading markets in my teens, and after that I completed my graduation from Punjab University in Bachelor's in Computer Applications, and after that I have been trading ever since. That is, I'm trying to trade, but it was a very lengthy journey to be at least consistent, because we can win 1 or 2 trades, but we have to be consistent. That's what matters.
Right. So we've been through your YouTube channel, like how articulately you represent data and look at data. So you must have definitely come a long way. So how did your initial mutual fund journey go? Like you invested in mutual funds. So how was that for you?
It was a bull market, so I won. I made money, but and I still remember I started trading in commodities in MCX. So at earlier point of my career, I used to win, which enforced bad habits.
Right. So yeah, even I've spoken to a lot of traders who had that beginner luck, and so there's a very sort of, I can't say it, call it a weird phenomenon, but when you start, apparently there is a beginner's luck to it. Maybe it's some analysis you've done, or maybe the stars are aligned. But when you start trading, there is a time where you see a lot of profits. But the longer you stay in the markets, you see that there are a lot more things to do, and a lot more unexpected things do happen. But that was a similar experience for me as well when I started trading. All right. So Nikhilji, little bit about you now. So this is like an unscripted video, right? So it's as practical as we can get. So I saw your LinkedIn. You started off your professional career as a broker. So how did you go about that? How was your initial experiences there? Did that help you in your trading career later?
Actually, it mostly harmed me because at that point of time there was no Zerodha. It was launched. If Zerodha was launched earlier, but I was not aware of it. So at that point there was full service broking. So we used to go to our broker's office and trade from there. So that's how, like, I was a client. I started trading over there. Whatever broker used to tell me, I used to do that. And then when I started losing money, I became a broker at that point of time. So that's how my career in broking started. And then, as you know, that discount broking has evolved now. So full service brokers, they have started their discount broking verticals as well now. So that business I had to close down because of commission pressure. That was the major issue. But in that point of time, like, the biggest mistake that I made was listening to different views, listening to everyone, and whatever they were saying, I used to do that without any my own analysis. So that was the biggest learning, and it is also a blessing, you can say, because now we know what not to do.
Right, right. So there is a lot of noise, especially when you're on the trading floor. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone has their own views.
Yeah,
Uh,
and they were not actual traders. They were all retired folk who used
Right.
to just trade intraday without any bias. They used to see the newspaper and they used to trade. That's what used to happen. And I was young. I didn't know anything, so I said, okay, I'll do that.
Right. So, Nikhilji, the $1,000,000 question is, so what changed in 2018? Was it a gradual change? What exactly changed? What do you think was the turning point where you made the switch from sort of not a profitable trader to a profitable trader?
Well, I have been a good analyst since 2012. In first year itself, I started analyzing very well. And I should also mention that 99% people, they are all very good analysts. Whatever they say, it always comes true sooner or later. So
Right.
execution matters. So my biggest change, there were two changes. One was my focus towards cash market, and
Mhm.
other focus was to meditation, to stay relaxed. That was the biggest change which happened.
Wow. So, I was not expecting meditation to be the change, but we'll get into more of that later. I wish I knew that earlier. I would prepare some questions for that, but we'll get into meditation later. Um, so even actually before this interview, Nikhilji told me that he didn't know that if our users would find his sort of analysis valuable because he uses it in the cash market for mostly investing. But I'm pretty sure everyone invests. So we'll have a look at as to how Nikhilji uses the app as well for investing. Uh, but yeah, so basically moving to cash basically was a game changer for you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So Nikhilji, getting into how we found out about you. So we saw your YouTube channel, how you do your analysis for your users using our app. So if we can get to that subject as to how you use QuantSap in your trading investing, so that our users can see how people in the market are actually using our app in a
Yeah.
different way than the
What
way
mostly
that
people use. Correct.
what mostly people use it. Yeah,
So
we can
this,
see your screen.
yeah, okay. So basically, for my YouTube videos, I basically use open interest data.
Yeah.
So this is for an overview of the markets. So I see, you see, this is this line. Basically, this is the current market price of the future. So I take the nearest open interest data points. So for me, this is 17,800 call strike and 17,600 call strike. These are going to be resistances basically. And for support, these levels, one 500, 17,500 and other 17,400. This is very basic stuff. So this is how I like, for people, those who are into option writing, they can use these data points to implement option strangles based on these data points intraday. And the change in open interest data, it is basically a guide for me to make sense of what happened intraday. Like on Friday, I can see that large open interest edition was in calls. So majority of people, they were shorting the market based on this data. I don't make this data to implement trades, but it's a supporting hypothesis for me basically. So this is how I use the options open interest data and the change in interest data. And now I'll show you the things which can be useful for investor using your platform. One is this volume analysis tool. So like if someone wants to invest in Nifty Bees, for example, say you have 1 lakh rupees and you want to invest in Nifty Bees. So usually people either invest in one go, or
Mhm.
they implement a systematic investment plan for Nifty Bs as well. So what I advise my clients is basically that like this level 15,800 level, it is very far right now. So what you should do is not deploy 1 lakh at this point only. I would be sharing these levels like 17,400 you can buy 10%. If it falls to 16,600 you can buy 10%. So this is how an investor can utilize these levels. So if a person is doing SIP of 1,000 rupees per month, every
Mhm.
month he's doing SIP, but in case price falls to these levels based on these
Right.
analysis parameters, so instead of 1,000 SIP at that point of time, one can do maybe 2,000 or 3,000 SIP. So basically, when market is falling, you can increase your investment amount with perspective
Right.
of an investor. This is for investor, not a trader.
Yes. So get into like a in a staggered way.
Yeah,
Don't get in one shot. Makes sense.
yeah. And now I'll be.
So you can just search for it on the top.
Yeah, this is advanced all sector advanced decline chart I use. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you one thing. This data is from 2017. So basically, this green line and the red line which you see are the net advanced declines.
Right.
Okay. So as an investor, you can focus on when the net decline are minus 100. That is, net declining stocks are 100 out of the total advanced decline. So you will see whenever net decline is minus 100, it
Mm-hmm.
usually corroborates with the low in the index, basically.
Okay.
You can see it anywhere, like this is 100. So here it was around 100, and if I move this any place, you can see over here. Here,
Okay. So basically, yeah.
it's a buying opportunity for investors whenever net declining stocks are minus 100 based on this advanced decline tool in QuantSap.
Okay.
So here you can see again whenever net decline are minus 100, so it is giving it is basically near to the bottom of the market.
Right.
So this is our corona pandemic lows. So here again, it basically it was, now in hindsight, it was a very good buying opportunity. But here you will see when it was minus 100, the net decline, and the market was declining, as an investor you should have gotten in.
Right.
I'm talking from the perspective of an investor, not a trader.
Right. And in a staggered way, like we saw in the volume analysis, C minus 100 getting in a staggered way so that even if it goes down more, you have some opportunity to buy some more.
Now, since the corona recovery in the markets, again you can
Mm-hmm.
see from minus 100, we if one would have invested, it would have been a great way to buy the dips, basically.
Right.
So an investor can basically use 200 moving average on the index, as long as price is above 200-day moving average and the net advance decline indicator shows minus 100. It's a great opportunity to buy the dips. Whenever it has come to minus 100, so it has given an opportunity to buy, basically.
Right. So in an upward trending market, you see minus 100 as a net decline.
Yeah.
And you're waiting to buy before a pullback. That's a good signal based, and you can easily backtest it by just looking at this data itself. Don't need
And
any advanced models.
another filter would be to using 200-day moving average on the index as well, because if it is above 200-day moving averages, so we know that long-term trend is also up. So this is how you can combine multiple tools basically. One is the moving average on the daily time frame and this advanced decline chart as well.
Right. Makes sense. So
and I'll show you another good tool. And I'm not sure whether most people have heard about seasonality. Basically, seasonality is the tendency of market, what it has done in the past. So I also look at seasonality analysis as well. Basically, it's a position size filter for me, not a trading filter, a position size filter. So this is Nifty index seasonality data which we can see. So current month is September, and historically it moves 2.72% on average. So if one is as a trader, you can use this knowledge to increase your position size on the long trades. So if you're trading 100 shares normally, instead of 100 you can trade 200 shares. And if you are shorting the market, instead of even your normal 100 shares, you can even reduce that to 50, because basically what we have to do is look for multiple areas of studies. When they align, then when we should be increasing our size, otherwise we should be reducing our size basically.
Right, makes sense.
So this is also a tool which I use.
So we see Jan Feb, the seasonality is usually negative for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
So you can not be long on those 2 months or go along with a smaller quantity compared to say months like July, April, September.
Correct.
Makes sense, Nikhilji. Makes sense.
And now I'll go back. Rest everyone knows about option max pain data. It basically tells us potential expiry level. It's not 100% sure shot, but whenever market expires, it expires near about option max pain levels, usually, not 100% of the time.
Right.
And this feature is a very good tool, which I would recommend everyone to use.
Alright, so this is result analysis. Alright.
Yeah, basically, we can get a historical information regarding what was result of, say, Reliance. We can take the example of Reliance. Historically, if we already get information on websites regarding earnings, so based on this tool, we can get what usually happens basically. So it is another position size filter basically. We just have to look for multiple areas of confluence, not on technical studies, but overall historical analysis of the share. So that way, whenever multiple things align, we can just go for it basically.
Right. Makes sense. So we covered like 3 to 4 indicators here just for investing. If you see some of them aligning in a good way, that just gives you more, the probabilities are basically more in your favor. So rather than just looking at one data point, looking at multiple does add the probabilities in your favor. Makes sense, Nikhilji. Yeah.
And for traders, there is also an indicator which is present, basically banking on losses of the big boys.
Right.
So let's take a chart of Nifty. Let's see. It is showing Reliance, but we can put Nifty over here. So basically, right now, call writing is taking the market higher. People are shorting, that is why it is rising. Basically, you can say that.
Alright, so this is a trap indicator where it takes in a lot of inputs, looking at open interest, high V's, where people are getting trapped in short, and it gives you buy and sell signals.
Yeah.
So Nifty has just been giving buy signals the
Yeah.
past year and a half.
Yeah.
So this is something you can look for if you're looking for sort of signals. But still, looking at this is easy. You get buy and sell signals.
Yeah.
But as Nikhilji said, looking at other data points also will give you an edge for sure.
Correct. And now I can show you my charts as well.
Yeah.
Basically, as this is for an investor, not a trader. Basically,
this is TradingView. All right.
Yeah, this is TradingView. So basically, I use SuperTrend as a trend filter, and as an investor, only thing I can advise anyone is to never short the market using any technical indicator. That has been my experience. You can backtest according to yourself, and maybe you would be able to find systems which work, but I have not been able to find system for the short side for the index. Okay. So basically, whenever this gives a buy signal, we buy. And if you're into positional trading, whenever Nifty index spot gives a buy signal, you can basically either purchase Nifty Bs. If you don't have necessary funds, you can purchase 10,000 or 20,000 worth of Nifty Bs, or you can purchase top 10 stocks of Nifty. And for that, you can find data on the NSE exchange website for the top 10 stocks. So whenever this gives a sell signal, super trend indicator gives a sell signal, you don't short the market, you just get out. Or if you are into derivatives, you can implement a hedge using put options. That's what you can do.
So this is the super trend indicator we are seeing right now.
Yeah, correct.
All right. Any particular settings you use on this indicator, or it's a default?
It's 10-5. The multiplication factor is 5. It's a random number which it looked good to me, and then I tested it, and it was for long-term investment. It was working, so that's why I chose this. And basically, if you see my videos on YouTube, I basically rely on price action primarily. So I can show you. I'll do that. For me, analysis can be, you can make it as easy as you want to or as tough as you want to. It's your choice. So on monthly time frame, candle is under control of buyers as we are trading above the opening print of monthly candle.
Right.
So I'll put a line over here. This is the monthly candle. On the weekly candle, again, you will see market is under control of buyers as it is trading above the weekly open.
Right.
Now, when you have this, you can use, say, 15-minute charts for a trader. So on monthly, weekly, it's under control of buyers. On 15-minute time frame, you look for buying signals only. Why make it so complicated? You don't even need any technical indicators for trading. If you want to make it simple, basically, you can make it as complex as you want to, but this is as simple as you can get. On monthly, it's under control of buyers. The monthly candle is green. The weekly candle is green. And if you want to see the daily candles, here you can see from the start of the week, we had 2 days in which candle was green. So if in these days your trade might not have triggered, or you might have made small losses, but in these 2 days when everything was aligned, you could have entered with a above average position size and made money. So that's basically what I want to share, is that you just have to have a variable position size. It should never be fixed, because we don't know what is likely to happen. When multiple things are aligned, only then we have a probability, not certainty, that it is going to work. So that's what I wanted to share. That's how I trade, basically. It's very simple.
Makes a lot of sense to me, yeah. So basically looking at the longer time frame, looking at what sort of price action has been happening in a longer, just reducing the time frames and just looking at levels and basically position sizing. Very simple, but sound makes a lot of sense, Nikhil. So is there anything else that you would like to share?
Yeah, I would like to share that based on my experience, I would always say that one should have multiple sources of income, and for normal Indian person, you should not be leaving your job for trading, and you should be basically working a job and look for investment opportunities or positional trading. That's what I want to tell, that you can work a job and implement a position trading type of time frame, basically.
Right. Makes sense, Nikhilji. So I think you've given a new dimension to how to use Quantsap and some simple tools for investors. I don't think many investors even look at option or derivative data. So definitely this is something that would add an edge to their investing for sure, because looking at the volumes taking place in derivatives makes a lot of sense to look at the data as well involved in derivatives. So I'm pretty sure investors here in the audience would get some value, and day traders here would get a little anxiety after watching this. But yes, anything else? So I think you're showing us participant data.
Yeah, here you can see what FIIs are doing. They're basically net long on everything: index, options, futures, stock, net long basically. So that here you can also check what our FIIs doing. Apart from that, most people, they look on moneycontrol.com. I just want to highlight that most of the things that they see on other website, Money Control, you have clear-cut access on this platform. You can see news, market news, holidays, circulars, anything that you see from other sources. Everything is available on Quantsap basically.
Thank you for the shout out, Nikhilji. We did not ask you to say that, but thank you for the shout out. All right. Cool, Nikhilji. This has been like a learning session for me as well, because I'm into investing personally as well, not into trading. But yeah, I have a lot of takeaways. I'm pretty sure even our viewers would have the same. So guys, if you like the video, let us know in the comment, or let us know somehow, so that we can do such similar videos with real traders, investors who are using our app in the real world. So Nikhil ji was one example we came across on YouTube. But if you're liking such a thing, we can have more sessions like that. And so any parting words, Mr. Nikhil, before we end the particular small chat?
Yeah, beware of trading quotes. What we read in trading quotes, it has been one of the biggest reasons of losses for me, because we take them at face value without knowing in what context they were said in, basically. They say trend is your friend. You can short momentum intraday. You can fade up trends. You can buy down trends. Anything works, but you just have to test it and then implement it based on your personality.
Cool. So that's a good point at the end. So based on your personality, so many people are not made for trading. So rather than forcing yourself doing it, find something that works too. Many people don't have the patience for investing. So look for something in trading. But personality points also makes a lot of sense. So, cool, Nikhilji. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We did not get any background construction sort of noises. All blessed. A good Saturday. Yeah. But cool, Nikhilji. Thank you so much. Got a lot of value out of this, and please stay connected. And guys, if you would like to check out Mr. Nikhil, he has a YouTube channel, Digital Trading Floor. So you can have a look at that as well on YouTube. So thanks, Nikhilji, again, and thanks, guys, for watching the video. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.